my beautiful little unicorns, and welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa and I, and I would like to welcome you into the fam. So guys, we've explored quite a few 2021 predictions so far. We have done one based on your zodiac sign as well as based on your life path number. We did a 2021 love prediction based on your zodiac sign. And if you have not received those predictions yet, I will leave them linked in the description box for you to check out. And while all of those videos are highly personalized as well as informative, today's video is a lot more specific when it comes to timing of events that are occurring during 2021 for you. So if you've thought to yourself, great, I have all of this information about what's coming during 2021, but I don't know when it's happening, know that this video is the perfect pick a card reading for you, because in today's reading, we are going to be going through each month of 2021 in detail. So this way you already know what to expect throughout the calendar year and exactly when to expect it. So in order to help you figure out exactly what's coming towards you for each calendar month of the year, I have prepared 4 groups that you can choose from, and I would like you to pick one of these 4 groups intuitively. So just go with whichever stone, whichever crystal that you feel the most drawn towards. So the 4 crystals that I have prepared for you today are as follows. Representing group number 1, we have the Howlite. Representative of group number 2 is the Azurite. Representing group number 3, we have the Aquamarine, and representing group number 4, we have the Orchid Calcite. But the timestamps to all 4 groups can be found below in the description box as well as pinned to the comment section. And if you feel like you just need a second to meditate on all 4 groups, feel free to pause the video right here in order to do so. So by now, you've hopefully chosen your group. I will be starting off with the Howlite, and to all of my other gorgeous groups, I will catch you at the click of your timestamp. Hello group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Howlite. You may have chosen because of its beautiful marble-esque appearance, but this is also a stone that is set to bring you mental clarity as well as a calmness. But let's move into your reading in order to figure out exactly what's coming for you in 2021 month by month. So we're going to be starting off with the month of January. We have the Drum as well as Birth. So one thing that I can see here in the Drum as well as Birth is the fact that there's going to be some sort of awakening, okay? Some sort of feeling of waking up. So don't take this birth too literally. I want you to know that this birth stands for renewal. So you feeling like your energy has been renewed, like your motivation is in a different place, is renewed and awakened. The Drum is all about your energy being awakened, being brought to life, being given back that zest, and the Birth card is all about that renewal and that fresh beginning. So those are the type of vibes that I see for January, but let's move into February to see what's coming then. We have the 5 of Swords, we have the 7 of Cups, as well as the 4 of Swords. Okay, so one thing that I can see here in February is that there's going to be this time where you're really just in your grind, in your groove. So you're spending a lot of time just getting better and better at what you do. This could be, for example, your work. This could be, for example, your art, any type of creative endeavors that you really love. And I can see that you're using that as a form of therapy, because I can see here in the 5 of Swords that you have a lot of things that you're going through that have to do with betrayal. I see that in the 5 of Swords in correspondence to the 4 of Swords. I see that there is somebody who makes you feel betrayed. There is somebody who makes you kind of feel as though you don't matter as much as you hoped or thought that you would matter to them. That is one thing that I can see in the 4 of Swords, and it's really bothering you. That is something that is making you feel a little bit down. So in February, you will be more focused on your endeavors, because you know that the best thing for you to do is to really just get your mind off of the situation. Let's see what's coming up in March and how this is going to affect March. We have Immortal. So one thing that I can see here in Immortal is you kind of turning to your family, turning to those closest to you who you know you can always count on. I want you to know here in the Immortal that for the month of March, there is also a certain sense of peer pressure because your family as well as your friends, they have an opinion about your job, they have an opinion about your romantic life, and I can see here in March that peer pressure is something that you're feeling a little bit. So starting off in January feeling really renewed, really awakened, like you're really coming into your own, and then progressing to a place where you're kind of unsure whether you really want to continue down your path or whether you want to conform to society, is all kind of coming from this place of betrayal, because you feel like you have maybe made yourself an easy target for certain people because you're too nice, you're too giving, and you're kind of like thinking to yourself, maybe I should be like everybody else. Maybe I should just not be so caring anymore, and I would be in trouble less emotionally. So March is definitely a month where you're kind of going through a lot of feels, where you're going through a lot of different things that make you thoughtful and that make you question whether, is this really helpful? The fact that I'm such a different person, that I'm such a different spirit, or is this actually in fact something that is making life harder for me? Let's move further into your reading though. I see here that in April, so we've moved into the month of April in the Empress, that we're moving back to this place of fertility. So why I'm saying fertility is because the birth card is all about fertility, right? It is that like ultimate coming to fruition of fertility. But I can also see here in the Empress that April is a month where you're moving more into your own again, where you're feeling yourself again after March was a little bit weird. After March felt like you were not quite in your own body, not quite in yourself, okay? Not quite really being who you know yourself to be. So I do see here in the Empress that you're moving forward stronger than ever. And I see that conception is something that is very probable around you during April. Okay, I want you to know that the whole vibration is very fertile. Don't just think babies, but also think for business ideas, because having this new kind of energy that's been fed into you after being in a difficult position in March is going to make you feel like you can really just take on anything. The sun is just the confirmation that we needed for that. During April, as well as moving into May, you're feeling on top of the world. The sun is arguably like the most favorable card of the tarot, or one of the most favorable cards. It speaks of basking in light and joy and just overall having a lot of good fortune in your life. So that is one thing that I see here in April and transitioning into May. So let's see what's coming in May for you. In May, we have the 10 of Wands. So May is an exceptionally busy month for group number 1. I want you to know here in the 10 of Wands that we have a lot of work that you're doing, okay? A lot of work that not only has to be done, but it has to be finished in May. So some deadlines. You may also have some types of exams, some types of big projects that need to be done, or that you need to get to the printers by May so that you are in time for a deadline that has to be met. Let's see what's happening from May through June. We have the Knight of Swords, as well as the Devil. So May and June is really a very busy month for you creatively, professionally, and I can see here in the Knight of Swords and the Devil that there's somebody coming into your life who is tempting you, okay? This is most likely at the beginning of June. The Knight of Swords is somebody who has a lot of air sign energy. So think Libra, think Gemini, think Aquarius. And why I'm saying tempting you is because here in the Devil, either you or this person in the Knight of Swords is already taken, okay, is already in some form emotionally committed to another person, but I can definitely see temptation here to be together. And I see that the Knight of Swords is kind of like a bad boy, bad girl type of personality, the type of person who you feel drawn towards, not because you think that they're particularly good for you, but because they just have that air of just attractive energy that you want to get to know. I can see here in the Knave of Cups that later on in June, there is going to be somebody who kind of of reminds you of how good you really have it without the Knight of Swords, and that you don't need them, and that it is probably better for you to stay away from this person. The Knight of Swords has a lot of their own things going on. As I said, they are maybe already taken or married. They have their own responsibilities, and so do you. And the Knave of Cups is that person who reminds you that it's more important for you to do what's best for you rather than to work on some sort of project or give somebody a chance who is most likely going to hurt you or is most likely not that great in news. But let's move into July, okay? Let's figure out what's coming during the month of July. We have the Star. So in July, there's hope present for you. In July, after you've had this whirlwind romance or these thoughts of getting to know the Knight of Swords, even though you know that they're a bit of a project, they're not the best person for you to have in your life. Maybe they're also the type of person who consumes a lot of alcohol or other substances, and you know that you have the type of personality that could get you to go along with that, even though you know it's not a good idea, but they may just be the one to kind of convince you or talk you into bad habits. So once you have kind of overcome that temptation, I see that in July, there is hope on the horizon again for you to not feel like you should give people like the Knight of Swords the time of day, who are a bad influence on you, who are toxic to you. Are you saying that the Knight of Swords is a bad person? No. Am I saying that? Absolutely not. But they're most likely toxic to you, and this person here in the Knight of Swords is most likely not a good fit, which is why you need a little bit of time to heal, and July is going to bring just that emotional healing as well as the hope that you need. I can see here in the Eight of Pentacles that July is bringing you back to being very focused on your work, very focused on your craft. Moving into August, you're going to continue to just be very dedicated to your craft, and that's really what's keeping you out of trouble. That's what's keeping you away from any bad influences, away from any type of substance abuse. Let's see what else is coming in August for you. We have the Six of Swords. So I can see here in August that is a time where you're leveling up. So you're leveling up mentally, emotionally. I can see here in the Six of Swords that in August, you're really having a big transition and almost like a rebirth intellectually, where you're moving from one belief system to another. So there's going to be a lot of learning. That's one thing that I see in the Eight of Pentacles here that we spoke about with you, honing your craft, getting better and better at what you become. And in the Star, that hope that we spoke about that's coming back into your life is most likely also just something that comes from you learning more about the latest and greatest technology, as well as the latest and greatest ways for you to see life. So you going deeper into a meditation practice, deeper into your yoga practice, deeper into just this well of knowledge that you didn't have before. So think Joe Dispenza, think Deepak Chopra, think any type of great teacher that's out there that teaches us about how powerful the mind is. That is one thing that I can see that is really life-changing for you during August. Let's see what September brings. So in September, that brings you strength, okay? That brings you confidence, and not just strength in a very kind of like, what should we name this, in a primitive way where you're fighting off your demons with physical strength, but strength intellectually, strength emotionally. You can see that here in the Six of Swords. Do you see how, you know, your head is kind of like connected to this big ball that carries you to a whole different world? It's almost like this hot air balloon that's built on your new knowledge, that's built on your intelligence. So that is where I see your strength really increasing during September. Now October, I see in the Wheel of Fortune is going to come with a lot of unexpected news, that makes you go, oh my God, I absolutely just didn't even consider this. So unexpected news can be be positive, but it can also be scary, of course. So do know here in the Wheel of Fortune that October may come with a bit of a up and down type of feeling, a bit of an emotional roller coaster. But let's look into November and December to just give your reading a really nice ending, a really nice full circle moment, group number one. So we have the Tree of Life. The Tree of Life stands for conception. So that is one thing that I see in November. If you're looking to, become a parent, or there's someone close to you who is looking to become a parent, do know here that November is going to be that month where it is confirmed that you were in fact successful. And this probably comes from a place of so much fertility being here for you in 2021. But if you're absolutely not interested in children at all, I do want you to know, group number one, that conception often also stands for the conception of a new business venture, an idea, because that is often just as time consuming as a child, just having a startup, starting something from zero, conceiving a new idea. Then last but not least, we have the bells for December. So I do want you to know here in the bells that there's going to be this full circle moment for you in December where you feel like there is so much that you've been through, so much that you've learned, that you're just really reflecting on and allowing yourself to take that knowledge into 2022. Let's do one more card actually. We have the Cave. And I see that you're in a very thoughtful place. I see that here in the Cave, because you're retreating. November and December are months during 2021 where you're going to be spending a lot of time in your space. It may be that the weather is really bad, but you also unintentionally are spending a lot of extra time by yourself alone because you're wanting to reflect. You're wanting to go through this time of also just listening to yourself, because the whole year is going to be very crowded. Because overall, the whole of 2021 is pretty crowded for you, group number one. As you can see, there's always something going on. There's always some sort of change. And after a very moody fall, which we spoke about in the Wheel of Fortune, you really just need a little bit of time to exhale, a little bit of time to retreat and relax, as well as step into your power, step into your strength when it comes to the conception of new ideas or conception of new life surrounding you. So group number one, this is a reading that I received for you month by month, what 2021 is going to bring. I truly hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you found it insightful. Let me know down below in the comment section how you like this type of reading. Leave a little flame emoji down below to let me and others know that you made it to the end of your reading. And also subscribe to my channel. If this isn't the first time that you're here, we clearly vibe with one another, group number one. So what are you waiting for? It's free, and I promise you won't regret it. So group number one, thank you for sharing this divine and sacred space with me. I'm sending you positive vibes, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number two, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Azurite. Now, group number two, this is a close-up of your stone. The Azurite is a stone that was used in ancient times to create paint for paintings because of its beautiful, highly intense blue color. So people ground up this crystal and used it in order to paint, because there was no other way to have such an intense blue like the Azurite could produce. But let's move into your reading to figure out exactly what's coming in your life month by month for 2021. So we have the medicine bag first, as well as the sacred site. So one thing that I can see here in the medicine bag is that during January, expect for treasures to come towards you. Expect for unexpected riches to be here, and for you to receive a little bit of extra money that comes as a surprise. So whether this is you receiving some sort of refund or just finding $20 in your coat pocket or your bag and being very positively surprised, know here in the medicine bag that that is something that's coming for you during January. In the sacred site, I can see that January is also a very purposeful month. So you're reflective and you're asking yourself how you can move into alignment with your highest purpose. So know here that January is a very telling month for the rest of the year, as January is the month in which you are goal setting as well as figuring out exactly how you're going to move more into your purpose throughout the rest of the year. Let's check out February, shall we? So we have the Two of Pentacles as well as the Seven of Pentacles. And here we also have the Knight of Pentacles. But let's start off with the Two of Pentacles. So in the Two of Pentacles, I can definitely see that February is a month where you're trying to balance your personal life as well as your job as best as you can. And you're gonna kind of have to like shimmy your way through it, almost like this belly dancer. Do you know here in the Seven of Pentacles that you taking time to just kind of focus on projects that are already on the go is best. So it's not really a time during February for you to start any new projects or ventures. Focus on closing chapters that already exist, on finishing them, and on giving them that extra push, that extra bit of fine tune for you to not just finish projects, but finish them well. As I can see here in the Knight of Pentacles, that anything that concerns earthly matters in your life, group number 2, they're going to be watched, they're going to be looked over by this Knight of Pentacles. So this could be either your boss, this could be somebody who you're working with, but either way, you know, this is someone who is keeping a very close eye on how productive you're being and what your work quality looks like. But let's move a little further into your reading to figure out March next. So group number 2, in March, we have the Hermit show up for you. So the Hermit is a card that speaks of alone time, but also illumination of the mind. So you're most likely just going to feel kind of peopled out in March, kind of like you're over being around a lot of people or having just really contact with anybody. I see that March is a bit of an anti-social month for you. So beware of becoming too much of a recluse, too much of a hermit, too much of a loner in March, because when it goes into the extreme, of course, that can become unhealthy. But here in the Hermit, I can see that this is something that is to be expected after such a busy month in February. We have the Knave of Cups. So in the Knave of Cups, I do see that March is a month where there is a possibility for this young water sign to come into your life. So think Pisces, Scorpio, but also Cancerian, somebody who is younger than you biologically or by their maturity level. And I can see here that this is a time in March where you're going to get to know that person, and that's really the only one who you're letting into your space and into your alone time. Let's look into April now, group number 2, shall we? We have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands is someone who has an effect on your life during the month of April. Know here in the King of Wands that this is somebody who is strong. This is somebody who is older than you. Likely also like a lot older. If you're, for example, in your 20s or 30s, this is somebody who is maybe in their 50s or 60s. Same goes for you being, say, in your 40s, like this is somebody in their 70s. You get the gist. Just someone who is significantly older than you, significantly more experienced than you are. And I see here in the King of Wands that they're going to have an impact on your life during the month of April. But let's figure out exactly what type of impact that's going to be. We have the Eight of Swords. So it is an impact on your mind. It is an impact on the way that you see the world, your thought process. So think a great teacher, such as, for example, Deepak Chopra. Think Tony Robbins. Think Dr. Joe Dispenza. All of these people who are doing groundbreaking work using the power of the mind. That is one thing that I can see coming for you here. Let's see what's coming in May. Okay, so we're moving towards summer slowly but surely. In May, in the Nine of Swords, I can see that there's a little bit of fear present for you during the month of May. And this may be because we have like a double 5 in May, which can cause a lot of anxiety for a lot of people. Why I'm saying double 5 is because 2021, the vibration of 2021 is 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1, right? Which equals 5. In the Nine of Swords, in May. So May is the 5th month of the year, right? So we have 2021 as well as May, and the Nine of Swords is a card that speaks of anxiety and nightmares. So during May, you can have nightmares, you can have very tense kind of sleeping patterns, sleeping tendencies, because this double 5 energy of May as well as 2021 is just a little bit overwhelming, okay? You feel a lot of pressure during May, and that's something that you're just feeling in your body. It's something that's not just happening in your mind, but it's actually going to extend onto your body. I see here in the King of Cups that the best way for you to get through this difficult time in May is for you to empower yourself to feel all of those feelings. So instead of being afraid of them or thinking that something bad is happening, just empower yourself and say, look, we all go through ups and downs, and I can get through this. I have nothing to feel anxious or scared about. I have got this. Also planning, getting a planner and making sure that you have all of your things organized and in order. That is another very helpful way for you to get through the month of May. But let's move into June next. So in June, I do see here in the Lodge this feeling of safety and this feeling like you can get a lot of value when it comes to advice from home. So think your parents, think anybody who you would call home. This could also be a partner. I see that for July, we have a lot more kind of a warmth and happiness arising for you. So June is like leading up to a fantastic month, but July is really where the sun comes back out. July is really like your month, group number 2. Let's see what else is coming in July. I can see that July is your month due to the fact that you have this opportunity to fully and 100% express yourself artistically, verbally, just emotionally. You're unafraid to say what you're going through. July is a month that makes you feel safe, secure, as well as in a state where it's okay to open up about your feelings. It's okay for you to open up about past events and traumas that you've been through and that you've experienced. Next, we have the Dreamweaver. So in the Dreamweaver, I can see that for August, a lot of your dreams are now finally accessible. So if you have created a goal board, which I highly suggest that you do, especially if you're watching this video during the month of January of 2021, create that goal board, okay? Put up photos of your wildest and biggest dreams. They don't have to be attainable, because one thing that I can see here in the Dreamweaver is that during the month of August, some of those dreams that you put on your goal board now are going to be accessible just because you were reviewing them, just because you put them up, put them somewhere close to you, and actually visualized those dreams and goals. That is all that it's really going to take for you to have them be accessible to you in August. Let's see what September brings. So in September, I can see the Medicine Mask brings more authenticity. So you having this type of positive, big positive surprise that comes to you through the act of manifesting, through the act of believing and visualizing your dreams, I can see here that it makes you feel like this is really more authentically you. So you just having this success with the law of attraction, with manifestation techniques, is making you move even more into your spirituality and even more into the belief that you really do draw into your life what you think about, and the type of vibration that you put out is the type of vibration that you will attract back. That is one thing that I see in the Medicine Mask. So let's see about October. So in October, I see a lot of abundance. So it really starts in August for you, group number 2. In August, all of a sudden things are becoming accessible. Things from your goal board, your vision board, things that you've always dreamt of. Then during the month of September, you're realizing like, oh, this stuff really works. You know, actually writing down goals and what I'm grateful for, it can amass into a really big goal finally being accessible. So I'm not talking about something small, such as, you know, a little extra pay raise. I'm talking about you getting, for instance, a vehicle that you really love, you finally purchasing your dream home, you finally having enough financial means to do something that you've always wanted to do, to have this great experience happen for you. And then once you have realized that it works and you apply it again, I can see here that October really just brings a bounty of abundance, because you're now applying all of these energies and all of these laws onto your life. You're believing in them, and it's kind of like this ask, believe, receive thing where you know exactly how to be grateful, how to express gratitude to the universe, and for the universe to understand you and then lead the way and show you exactly how to cultivate the abundance that you want into your life. So let's move further into your reading. We have the Two of Swords. So in the Two of Swords, I can see that for November, it is kind of going to be a little bit of a battle with yourself, where on one hand, you feel like you don't really need very much. You feel like you're kind of in a place where having what you have is enough, but then on the other hand, you have this part of you that just wants more. You want more for your life. You want more material gain. You want more financial gain, because you're realizing that, wow, like life is really only as difficult as you make it. And the more you kind of explore those philosophies from, you know, August throughout October, the more in November you're going to kind of want to use this newfound energy for what you really need, but at the same time, you're also kind of wanting to just have more of everything. Okay, your eyes are almost like bigger than your stomach if we were talking about food. So it's like you're craving this consumerism, okay, to feed this type of consumerism in November. Then I see here in the Seven of Wands that something is going to happen just like that, that's going to remind you of how important it is to stay grounded. I see here in the Seven of Wands that you're going to find to your true self again, and you're going to remove yourself from being so caught up in the material world and with material things, and you're really going to just put yourself back to a place that is more grounded and that is more humble, and where you remind yourself like, wow, all of these material things actually don't matter. I see here in the Three of Wands that this type of thoughtful process that you're going through is going to make you very generous throughout November and December of 2021. So you're going to want to give back and nurture other people and kind of be there for others rather than just make as much money and create as much abundance as you can for yourself. You're giving back to your community. So finally, for December, I can see here in the Ten of Swords that you're feeling really tired, okay? You're feeling like 2021, it's been a roller coaster ride. It's been a time of a lot of learning. It's been a time where you've had internal struggles and battles with yourself, and you're really just ready to move on into 2022. That's one thing that I see in the Ten of Swords. And finally, in the Page of Swords, the fresh beginning coming. So do know here in the Page of Swords that it is a big relief after the Ten of Swords to walk away seeing things from a different mindset, for you to walk away seeing things from a different viewpoint, a different standpoint. As I can see here in the Ten of Swords, that you're going to confront yourself about a lot of beliefs that you have and how they didn't serve you, not only in 2021, but maybe throughout your life. So being very honest with yourself is going to make you realize that you have been constricting yourself, as you can see here in the Ten of Swords. And coming to that realization is going to have you walking away in a very relaxed manner here out of 2021, because you know exactly what to do in order to not constrict yourself anymore emotionally, spiritually. Yes, you are at the beginning of it. The Page is a novice. The Page is someone who is just figuring out how to do life, how to accomplish the things that they've always wanted to accomplish, but you're confident in the fact that past experiences have taught you how to be successful moving forward and how to not get caught up in the wrong things. Now, group number 2, this is the reading that I received for you a full breakdown for you of how 2021 is going to play out. I really hope that you liked this type of innovative idea for a video. If you did, leave a little dove emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end of this reading. Also, do make sure to subscribe to my channel. It's completely free, and I assure you, you will not regret it. Now, group number 2, I'm sending you so much prosperity. I'm excited for your 2021, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Aquamarine, group number 3. Let's do a quick close-up of your stone. This is the stone that you chose. The Aquamarine has very cooling and calming energy for anybody who suffers from anxiety, but it is also an awesome stone for fire signs to just kind of like calm their temperamental nature. So let's move into your reading in order to break down 2021 month by month for you. So January, we have the journey as well as imagination. Now, group number 3, one thing that I can see here in the journey is that January is having you dreaming, okay? January is a month where you're going to go through a whole journey of what you want your life to look like, and you may also be engaged in a lot of planning as well as creating mood and goal boards for 2021, which is an awesome activity for you to be doing anyways, as I can see here in the medicine wheel that January of 2021 is going to set the entire mood and tone for this calendar year. It is essential for you to take time to decide what it is that you want out of 2021, and once you've set your mind to it, once you've made up your mind, to go for it. Because I can see here in the medicine wheel that the energy that you start out with in 2021 is the energy that's going to continue on throughout 2021 for you. So be very wise when it comes to that, as steering things in a different direction will be increasingly difficult the more the year goes on. So let's move into February. We have the 5 of Pentacles as well as the King of Swords. So one thing that I can see here, group number 3, is that in the 5 of Pentacles, you have to watch your money, group number 3, okay? Beware of anybody trying to lend money from you, anybody trying to sell you something. I see that February is really kind of like the month of the scammers, but there is a reason why you've moved into this space where you're watching this reading right now, group number 3, and know that it is because the universe and your guides want to protect you from anyone who is trying to get to your finances in a way that just isn't right. I see here in the King of Swords that you're very discerning, okay? You will completely know when someone is moving into these scamming tendencies, let's just put it that way, group number 3, when somebody is trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I see in the King of Swords that you don't need anybody to tell you that this is happening. You're going to know, which is why it's so important for you to then immediately act. Don't just think it, but then do something else or give somebody a second chance anyways. We don't need to go as far as to them having scammed you for you to say, okay, now I know. Don't even give anyone that trust with your money. During February of 2021, group number 3, I can see here in the 3 of Swords that trusting is only going to end up with a broken heart, okay? It's only going to end up hurting you. So if you have a bad feeling about somebody, you can already tell that there's something going on that you can't quite put your finger on, but you know it's not right. Seeing it through is going to end up in heartbreak and disaster. So try to not even allow things to get to that point, group number 3. Moving into March, we have the Fool. So March is like another fresh beginning, okay? March is like a second January where you're feeling really inspired, where your imagination is kind of running wild, if you will, and where you feel like you have new energy as well as new drive to move forward. I want you to know here in the Fool that being accompanied by like your trusty dog here in the Fool, which is your instinct, the dog is a symbol of your instinct, you're able to move forward just using your intuition, as you're gonna look back at February and be like, wow, I was really right about that situation. I see here in the Queen of Swords that March is a month where you're going to be unapologetically yourself, and you're not going to make any excuses for other people any longer or anymore. Let's look at April. In April, we have the Seven of Cups. So April is the month where you're able to choose your partners. So if you are single, know that April is a great month for romantic relationships. If you are in a relationship, then knowing the Seven of Cups, that it is really your choice where your relationship goes, whether it stays strong or whether it breaks apart. There are a lot of different spaces that you can move into romantically and emotionally with people, so choose very wisely. I see here in the Eight of Wands that April is one of those months where you're a little bit all over the place, and because you have so much choice, you have so much opportunity, it is like really a difficult thing for you to be decisive with, and for you to just make a decision and run with it. I see that there is a little bit of overthinking that's going on, which is making things difficult for you. I see here in the Ten of Coins that why you have to decide is because you're ready for an increase financially. I see that May can bring you prosperity when it comes to finances that you didn't expect, that you never thought that you would receive, but it is important for you during April to be decisive, even if it's very hard to do so. The Ten of Coins speaks of rags and riches, you being in a place where you're financially more free, like freer, if that's even a word, which it's not, but you know what I mean. You're more liberated than you've ever been in the past, and you're able to afford more things than growing up, than ever before in life. So that is where I do see here in the Ten of Coins that if you want to accomplish that, it is so important for you to focus during April and to make decisions intuitively. Don't be afraid to make the wrong choice. The most important thing for you is to make it based on your instinct, as we spoke about for the month of March. So allow that to be like the way that you make decisions moving forward rather than getting in your own way. So let's see what's coming in June. In June, I can see here in Ancient that you are feeling your magical inheritance. You're feeling kind of like you're given these superpowers from your ancestors. And I see that you're able to focus more on your lineage and where you came from because of this Ten of Coins situation here in May. So you're not so concerned anymore about how you're going to pay the bills. I can see that you're then a lot more focused on your historical lineage, okay, where you came from, what your ancestors have been through, and you're truly connecting with that. Egypt and just other types of ancient civilizations are becoming very interesting to you during the month of June. And I see here in Supernatural that you're doing things in a very inexplicable type of way. It's almost like you have this otherworldly energy during June, and you're not the only one who feels this. This is going to be something that other people notice as well, that you have profound internal change coming for you in the month of June. So let's see how this internal change that you're going through in June and this interest in your lineage is going to affect July. We have a rebellion. So I see that for July, you're really kind of like wanting to start fresh again, and you're not afraid to be that rebel. You're not afraid to go against the status quo. You're not afraid to go against what society expects of you. You're actually even kind of like challenging it. I see that this can result in friction when it comes to friends and family who are maybe very traditional or just do not believe in these supernatural abilities that you have discovered or have never really looked into supernatural experience, otherworldly experience. So I definitely see that July is a month that has a lot going on for you and a lot of rebellious energy. So looking into August, or should I say late July, early August, I can see here in that death will come, that you are losing fear of death. You're understanding that in a way life is infinite, but it is also finite. So infinite meaning that everything just kind of gets reused. You know, when something ends, when something perishes, it turns into soil, which then creates nutrients and gives life to plants, and those plants give life to certain animals, and those animals might be eaten by other animals, so that gives them, and it's like this, you know, this cycle that just continues to go. And we as an individual are really just one little speck of dust almost in the universe and in the cycle of this earth, of this planet. So that is where I see you finding a lot of peace in early August, just knowing that everybody has a finite amount of time, but in a way everybody will also continue giving on and living on, just in a different form that isn't this human life. I see here in her last day in the light that at the beginning of September, there are a lot of unexpected endings and surprise changes coming for you. And I see that these sudden shifts are shifts that are happening at the beginning of September, group number 3 for you, because of this loss of fear when it comes to your mortality. The less fearful that you are, the more you're able to really live, the more you're able to enjoy life, and the more unexpected, amazing things are happening for you. Let's see what else is coming in September. So in September, we have discipline. So while you're having these sudden shifts that are showing up for you, I do also see that it is very important for you to be consistent. I see that practicing what you preach is very much a part of September for you, group number 3, and training to lessen the ego, lessen your fear, your anxiety, and your suffering, something that you're going to have to actually start to do. So not just think and believe and feel like it is true, but actually living your life that way. And furthermore, with unexpected changes, surprise changes that are coming here in her last day in the light, you're going to have to maybe start from zero again and be very consistent in building your reputation. Or if you're, for example, a creator, you're going to have to be consistent in how much work that you put out, because you want to build an audience, you want to rebuild a relationship, and that takes time, patience, consistency, as well as practice. Now, group number 3, let's see what's coming for you in October. We have Lord Ganesh. So Lord Ganesh speaks of infinite abundance. I want you to know here that in October, any obstacles that were there are going to be removed, and I see here that spiritual support as well as those connections are increasing for you, group number 3. So do know here that October is one of the most abundant months for you during 2021. So if you want to plan any big launch in your business, any big kind of project that just really needs to hit the nail on the head, make sure that you release it and that you put it out to perform during the month of October, because that is when infinite abundance is possible for you. Next up, we have the Archangel Michael. So in the Archangel Michael, I see that here in late October, you're trusting heaven. You're trusting that you're safe. You're trusting that the universe only has good in store for you, and that you are in a way also in a lot of control of your destiny, because you understand that the universe is really just kind of like this vehicle where if you put positive fuel in, you'll get positive results. But if you put some sort of negative fuel in, you won't get very far with the vehicle that you're in, with the vehicle that is the universe, and that you're going to have a negative outcome. So that is where I see here in the Archangel Michael that you're surrendering any types of concerns, any types of anxiety, and you're understanding that at the end of the day, nothing is promised, just as this infinite abundance throughout October wasn't promised, but it happened. So why stress about something that you can't time precisely, that you just need to kind of like believe in, right? Because you kind of just need to believe that putting out positivity and putting out kind words of affirmation and kind actions is going to result in kindness. There's no way of giving 100% guarantee, right? Which is what I see here in the Archangel Michael, that you're less concerned with and you're more into just living your best life and being the best person that you can be, no matter what the return or the outcome may be, or no matter how little you can steer when that abundance comes. Because in Lord Ganesh, I can see that just the fact that you know it is going to eventually come back positively positively. All of the positive energy that you've put out, it is going to come back to you. That is all that you need to keep going. Let's see what November brings. So we have the Miriam. So I see here that November is coming with a lot of light, okay? November is going to remind you that love has no boundaries, and love not having any boundaries may be something that just sparks and ignites in you when during November you see some sort of documentary, some sort of report on people who aren't meant to be together. Okay, I'm saying that in big air quotes because love really does conquer all, but I see that you just realizing that distance or gender or societal pressures do not decide over whether, you know, people can be together, over whether love will prevail, but love is really like the ultimate thing that always ends up winning and conquers all. So I can see here that November is a month where you choose to forgive in order to help yourself heal, in order to help others heal, because you realize that love is the strongest superpower that you have present. Moving into December, I can see here in Lady Nada that because you're in such an inspired mood in November to share more love, I can see here that in December, you're having this big heart awakening, group number 3. Now, this heart awakening is coming with a lot of acceptance for yourself as well as other people. So you're being a lot less judgmental towards the end of the year. And I don't mean necessarily just judgmental towards others, but I also mean judgmental towards yourself. You're accepting yourself wholeheartedly. This heart awakening is going to put you in a space where you understand that the more that you accept yourself and divine love, the more you're able to love other people and the more your relationships are going to be able to flourish because of that. But I do also see here in Lady Nada that this gives you a glow up, because accepting yourself means that you're not looking in the mirror so often, you're not spending so much time just pointing out flaws that you see in yourself, but instead you're just like fully embracing and loving yourself, and that's something that others find really attractive too. Then last but not least, for the end of December, we have charity. So in charity, I can see prayer, contemplation, connecting with heaven, asking and receiving, group number 3. So this is really awesome news and a really awesome note to end the year 2020 on for you. I can see that you're coming full circle throughout 2021. You're starting in a place of dreaming, of journeying, also with like a little mini reset here in March in the full that we discussed, and then ending the year again on this very high note, on this spiritually elevated note, and on a note where you can ask and receive, where you feel very connected and where you feel very much like your dreams aren't so far away, like they aren't an impossible thing, okay? So really believing in the power of the mind and the power of you truly believing in yourself and your capabilities, and knowing that 2021 was a year where you did the best that you could. And I see here that for charity in December of 2021, you're kind of like really ready, prepared, and confident in 2022 and what you'll be able to do and the impact that you will have on this planet. Now, group number 3, this is the reading that I received for 2021, the entire year, just analyzed month for month. I really hope that you enjoyed this type of innovative concept of a reading. Leave a little fish emoji down below in the comment section to let me and others know that you made it to the end of your reading, and also make sure that you don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's completely free. You won't regret it. I mean, you made it to the end of this reading, so clearly we vibe with one another. Now, group number 3, now that you've subscribed and you have enjoyed this beautiful divine reading, know that I'm sending you so much prosperity as well as love, and I'll catch you in another one of my videos. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your month by month 2021 prediction. So you chose the Orchid Calcite, group number 4. Let's do a quick close-up of your gemstone. This is the beautiful Orchid Calcite. It is absolutely beautiful. It is a highly protective stone, but also one that delivers you with a lot of creative energy, which may be why you intuitively felt drawn to it. But let's move into the month of January in order to figure out exactly what's coming month by month month for you. So first and foremost, we have the birds as well as buried in earth. So one thing that I can see here in the birds is that you have a lot of freedom that is available for you during the month of January. So it may be that you're able to work from home a lot or make your own schedule, create your own schedule. But I can see here in buried in earth that in a sense, this freedom also makes you want to just watch, okay? So you're kind of just wanting to sit back and watch what others are doing rather than just act. So one thing that I can see here is that with this freedom, you're not just going for a million different projects or a million different things during the month of January. You're really just taking a little bit of time to take in 2021, the vibe of 2021, and then make informed decisions. And this freedom is also giving you an opportunity to plan ahead, look at things from different perspectives. So while other people are already making a lot of choices, good ones, as well as ones that will give them a lot of setbacks during 2021, you're still like making a plan because you're not stressed. You know that the best thing for you to do is plan ahead. Let's move into February for you. So we have the King of Cups as well as the Eight of Wands. So one thing that I can see here in the Eight of Wands is that there's news coming for you during the month of February. Do you see how this raven is carrying in this white piece of paper? I see that there's important news coming for you, and it has to do with your creative ventures. And this is news about most likely like a deadline that's being moved a little further away. I can see in the King of Cups that that is something that you expected. You're completely in control of your emotions during the month of February. And I can see here in the Two of Cups that February is really the month of love for you this year. Now, of course, we have a Valentine's Day during February, so you might be pleasantly surprised at being treated, at being taken care of in the most amazing way, group number 4. But I also do see here in the Two of Cups that there is temptation for a relationship to start to form. So one that is not yet existent in your life, but one that is yet to come, that you're going to feel really comfortable in, where you're going to feel like sharing a lot of time with this person and also being intimate with them. But let's move into March, after February has been just a very romantically interesting month for you, group number 4. So first and foremost, we have death. So March is really like a rebirth for you. It is a fresh start, group number 4. I want you to know here in death that this is not a card that you should fear or feel like has to mean literal death. Death could be the ending of a friendship or relationship, you working a certain job, and in many instances, it is a blessing in disguise. So let's see what death is really speaking of when it comes to the month of March and when it comes to the different areas of your life. I see here in the Knight of Swords that you are cutting ties with somebody who has this intense air sign energy that is very hard for you to deal with. Now, this is a Gemini energy, a Libra energy. This is the type of energy that an Aquarius might have. And I want you to know here in the Knight of Swords that this person may have been manipulating you. They may have been putting you down or trying to control you mentally and emotionally. And I see in conjunction to the death card that that is over for you. I see that in March you're making the conscious decision to step away from this person and to not allow them to control your life and your mental state any further. Moving forward into April, I see here in the Four of Coins that you're saving. So April is a month where you're really just buckling down on your finances. You're looking into creating different types of organization techniques for yourself, as well as budgets. That's a big one for April. So you may feel a little bit constricted. The Four of Coins can also show up when you're having some financial difficulties, when you're having some situations where you feel as though you don't quite have as much money or as many means as you would like. I see here in Strength that you're going to have to remind yourself to remain strong, especially if you're building a business or you're an entrepreneur. Remember that you are leading a few years of your life in a way that other people wouldn't, so you can lead the rest of your life the way most people can't. So you're sacrificing something now for delayed gratification. And that is really the smart thing to do. You know it. And I can see here in strength that it is going to be a little bit of a test of your strength, a test of how much you believe in yourself as well as your abilities, and how much you believe that the choices that you've made in your life are the right ones for you. So don't be doubtful of yourself, as April can bring up a lot of those types of emotions. Let's move into May. So in May, I see strong fulfillment. Now, this fulfillment may come from the Two of Cups, from having this person, this partner, this romantic love come through, especially during the month of May, giving you a lot of attention, making you feel very special, fulfilled, happy, and taken care of. Either way, I can see here in the Ten of Cups that that is kind of like the vibe for May for you. I see here in the Two of Coins, group number 4, that when it comes to your finances, things are balancing themselves out again in May, and you don't feel constricted, okay? You don't feel so much like you're in a difficult financial position. So in conjunction to the Ten of Cups, May is really an awesome month for you, so make sure that you mark your calendars, group number 4, as May is going to bring a lot of just internal happiness, emotional blessings, but also financial blessings and balance, where you feel like you are in complete control over your own finances. Next, we have these stone people. So in June, I see here in these stone people that there is a lot of sacred knowledge that is being revealed. So maybe you're visiting a grandparent or just somebody who knows a lot about history, maybe even history in your lineage, in your family. And I see here in these stone people that you're receiving a lot of really intriguing information from them. Now let's see how that's going to affect your life and affect June. I see here in the medicine bag that you feel like you're getting a lot of hidden treasures in June. So May is already a fabulous month for you, group number 4. And in June, you feel like you have a lot of gems that are being revealed that you didn't even know existed. So these gems could also be, for example, finding extra money somewhere in your house, in your couch, reminding yourself of an extra bank account or so, or your parents telling you, hey, by the way, I have like an extra little savings account for you here. And I see in correspondence to the stone people also using tips and help from those who have come before you to create a more abundant life is a big thing that you're doing during June. Next up, we have July. So in July, we have the sacred site, which moves you fully into your purpose. Now, you may feel like you're not 100% sure what your purpose is at the point of you watching this video, and that's completely okay. Do any of us even know? I mean, we're all constantly evolving and changing, so don't feel like your purpose is something that has to remain the same forever. But I see that during July, you're receiving this big breakthrough as to what your purpose is. And this is being brought into motion mostly because in the stone people in June, you are being brought to a place where you're very thoughtful about your lineage. You're very thoughtful about the meaning of life. And then during July, you have this big breakthrough where you're like, oh, okay, so that's why I am the way I am. And this is my purpose. Because I'm a very nurturing person, that's why I think I should be a teacher. Because I'm very creative, that's why I feel like I should be my own boss, I should become an entrepreneur. Or because I'm very compassionate, I think I should be a leader. You know, those are all like the different thoughts that you're going to piece together. They seem very obvious when you hear them now, but when it comes to yourself and your own life purpose, it can sometimes be really hard to discern what's your purpose and what's just something that you're good at, but not necessarily like your life purpose, right? So let's move into August. Next up in August, I see here in the Ten of Swords that in a sense, you feel like you have to break free. I see in the Ten of Swords that you're feeling very constricted, and that is because having this clarity about what your purpose is during the month of July is going to make you look around and feel really stressed out, because there may be a lot of things that are in your life right now that don't fit your purpose. So for example, if you feel like you've always wanted to lead a life that is going to outlive you, create a big empire, that is in alignment with your values, but you're, for example, working a job that you don't really like, or maybe it's a corporate job with a company that you actually don't really agree with their ethics and morals anymore, and that is making you feel very concerned and constricted. Being around family members, for example, who completely don't get you, who don't understand your outlook or your purpose, again, something that makes you feel very constricted and gives you a lot of like stress during August, and this feeling of just wanting to break free and wanting to find a way to create more balance and less havoc. So let's see what you're going to do. I see here in the Six of Pentacles that you're going to start by just kind of giving, okay, giving advice. I see that August is really a month where you soothe your nerves by talking a lot, by explaining to others, taking the time to explain to others what you're going through, what your beliefs are, and also what you feel like your purpose is. And I can see that it is being received, but ooh, what does September bring? Because that's really going to show us whether it's being received and appropriately used or put into action, or whether people are just listening to you during August and taking it all in, but then still kind of not getting it, or still treating you like the old you. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. In the Ten of Pentacles, I can see here that when it comes to your professional life and following your purpose, you have so much success in September coming for you. I can see that there is a lot of just strategic planning ahead. You are figuring out how you can lead that best life that you've always wanted to lead, as well as create financial freedom. I see that your home life is in a place where you're feeling content. But I do want you to also know here in the Ten of Pentacles that there's still a little bit of an elephant in the room, still a little bit of this feeling of, maybe there's still someone who doesn't quite get me. Maybe there is a family member that is still very doubtful of my life choices, but you're not allowing that to affect you negatively during the month of September. Let's move into October. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So October can go either way. In the Wheel of Fortune, I can see here that October is going to be a bit of a whirlwind. It's going to come with a lot of like ups and downs and a lot of unexpected surprises. And I do want you to know here in the Wheel of Fortune that having too many people give you advice in October is a bad idea, because it's just going to make you anxious. Okay, so if, for example, you're thinking about what to do next in life, one person says this, another person says that, it's just going to create a lot of anxiety. So just allowing life to happen in October is probably the best thing that you can do, because you're coming from such a great place professionally, from September being so awesome. In your career, you don't want to mess that up in October, right? So try to stay calm, even though there are lots of ups and downs and lots of different opinions that are being thrown around. So let's see what November brings. We have a call for help. So I can see here that November may trigger a little bit of that, you know, that November depression, that kind of feeling down because the days are getting shorter and just somehow everything is a bit more dark. The weather isn't quite where it needs to be. We're not quite in Christmas season, so there's not that much to feel excited about, and it can be a bit of a lonely month. So that is where I see here in November that it's important for you to reach out, especially if you are going through very severe depression, whether it's something that you're experiencing for the first time or it's something that you're going through for the 10th time. It is never a wrong thing for you to reach out. It's never wrong for you to ask for help. I can see here that November is going to come with a lot of ecstasy as well as bliss, if you're able to get past that ego, get past that feeling of, oh, I can't ask for help yet again. I don't want to always be the one who asks for help, and I don't want to be like a burden on people. That is one thing that I can see here in ecstasy that is going to come for you if you're able to move past any of those worries and concerns. So November can go either way, right? It can be very much like a need for help, a call, a cry for help that is unanswered, but it could also be a cry for help that ends up in a place of just feeling bliss, of feeling like, wow, I have so many more people around me who care about me and love me than I ever thought. So definitely be on the lookout in November for your ego to be in a place where it's trying to stop you from reaching out, because it is inevitable that you spend time with other people. Next, we have Krishna. So in Krishna, I can see here that you're being called to trust your spiritual guidance. So December is going to be a month where your commitment has been recognized, where moving into the space of knowing that you need help and not being afraid to ask for help or reach out to other people, letting them know how you feel. I see that is going to result in you being loved unconditionally and having this feeling during December like you're not alone, like you have so many people who care for you, who are here for you, and not feeling as though you are a burden. That is one thing that I see here in Krishna. Furthermore, I can see that when your commitment is being recognized by the universe, this brings a lot of bliss, a lot of prosperity and bounty in. So December is, when it comes to your career, a very favorable month. It is a month where you're going to see a lot of financial rewards as well as returns. Last but not least, we have El Moria. So in El Moria, I can see here that December is a month that allows you to feel like you have this awakening presence, like the universe is truly with you and like you can overcome anything. Group number 4, have you ever been in a situation where you thought your heart would never heal, where you thought you could never trust anybody again, where you thought you would never be happy again or smile again, but you ended up making it, right? You ended up getting through the difficult situation. That is where I see here in El Moria that you're going to look back at situations where you felt depressed, where you felt down, where you felt maybe like some people may have wanted to take advantage of you, but you overcame that. That is where I can see here in El Moria that you're going to awaken to knowing that everything is going to somehow work out regardless. There's no point in dwelling, there's no point in stressing out. I can see here in El Moria that you truly feel like you're ending 2021 on a very protective note, on a note where you feel like you finally found like your spirit guides and your spirit animals. So do know here that November and December is going to be a month where you reconnect with either spirit animals for the first time, or you reconnect with new spirit guides, because you don't always have the same spirit guides for your entire life, right? They change depending on what it is that you need. So that is where I see that there may be some swaps in spirit guides and spirit animals during November and December for you, group number 4. And of course also that you feel like you're wearing a cloak of protection and love. So having this piece of jewelry that maybe you acquired in January or February. Like for me, for instance, I have some jewelry that I acquire and I write down when I acquire it. And I do notice that some jewelry, carrying some gemstones with me, it brings luck, okay? It brings a certain type of vibration that allows for prosperity to come in, because it gives you confidence to go out and be unafraid. So that is where I can see that you're putting meaning to things that you wore and had with you during 2021. So not just jewelry, maybe also certain crystals that you brought with you, maybe certain clothing that always brings you positive results, and you are just like completely decked out in all of the things that brought you the best results, and that allows you to feel really confident then moving into 2022. I will also leave the link to my online crystal and jewelry store down below in the description box. I have all of my rings from there. I'm wearing a lot of amethyst today, as well as tiger eye. So I will leave that link in the description box for you, for any of you who are interested. I have designed these pieces, and I of course quality control and check them as well. So group number 4, if you've made it to the end of your 2021 month-by-month prediction, leave a little butterfly emoji down below in the comment section and let me know how you like this type of innovative way to read a year and to have a lot of details of when things are happening throughout the year. So group number 4, know that I'm sending you so much prosperity as well as divine guidance, and I'll catch you in another one of my readings.